and highly skilled workforce that can compete and, yes, win in the marketplace. Great education is paramount to great economic opportunity. Utahns have historically placed great value on education. For example, within weeks of arriving in the Salt Lake Valley in 1847, 17-year-old Mary Jane Dilworth established the area's first school. Even though the fields needed to be planted and the homes needed to be built, those early pioneers still sacrificed their very meager resources to make certain that their children received an education. Those early classes took place in a tent in the middle of a stockade. There were no chairs, just logs. There were no desks, only wagon parts to provide surfaces for reading and writing. Even in these less than favorable conditions, the students were grateful to learn, and their parents were thankful for these educational opportunities for their children. The pioneers also recognized that their young children needed higher education and training. Thus, just 3 years later, in 1850, territorial leaders established what would ultimately become the University of Utah. Utah's founders knew then what we still know today. The long-term well-being of our state and its people depends directly upon our commitment to education. Education, particularly well-focused higher education, enables career opportunities, economic stability, and a richer quality of life. We cannot have sustainable economic growth or be competitive in what is now a global marketplace if we don't properly educate the rising generation. In the 21st century, our competition isn't just Idaho or Colorado or even California. It's India, it's Canada, it's Mexico, and as Ambassador Huntsman knows, it's China. Today, more than merely gaining a diploma, our students need the skills that will provide a passport to the world. The future requires that we have a seamless education system that will help students transition from kindergarten through high school and on to post-secondary higher education and training. We applaud our educators. We salute those who work in the classroom, who coach on the field, and who inspire in school science laboratories. But I'm here to tell you, teachers can't do it alone. They need help from each of us. We need parents to be responsible, and we need parents to be involved. We need business and community leaders to step up and to help in every way that they can. We need all of us, in an unprecedented way, to form a partnership for educational excellence. The possibilities are limitless if we work together. I'm here to tell you today that as your governor, I will take a hands-on, proactive approach to work with all the stakeholders to improve education in our state. As we come together, as parents, as students, as business leaders, and as community mentors, we can and we will meet the growing educational challenges that we face and become a shining example of what a world-class education system looks like. My third critical priority is energy. Essential to our future, particularly in rural Utah, is the development of energy resources. Utah has a rich abundance of natural resources which, when combined with our unique spirit of innovation and entrepreneurism, will make our state a critical contributor to America's energy security. We remember the extremely high cost of gasoline just 1 year ago. This was caused in part by foreign control of a much-needed resource and the failure to sufficiently develop our own supplies here at home. We can and we must develop our natural resources, but we must do it responsibly and with an eye to our children's future. We will not forget our duty to be good stewards of our land and protectors of our environment. Clean air and clean water are something that we all value. The Utah quality of life is greatly enhanced by our beautiful canyons, our stunning mountains, and our incomparable red rock deserts. I'm here to tell you that protecting our extraordinarily natural wonderment and meeting the pressing energy needs that we have in America are not mutually exclusive ideas. We've come a long way since Utah pioneers first began to mine coal and carbon in Emery counties. Recently, we have watched the development of a geothermal plant outside Milford, the placement of wind turbines at the mouth of Spanish Fork Canyon and in Beaver County, the completion of a hydroelectric plant at Jordanelle Reservoir, and the construction of a solar power plant in Utah's Dixie. Researchers in the state in both the public and private sector are leading the charge in the development of carbon capture and sequestration technology. The technology will benefit the users of energy produced by coal and help preserve our environment for generations to come. As one of the fastest growing and resource-rich states in the nation, we must do our part to help America achieve energy independence. Utah's role will be second to none. Though I have chosen to highlight economic development, education, and energy today, and I will throughout my administration, I nevertheless recognize that each function of state government is also deserving of attention. As I work closely with legislators to craft a balanced state budget during these uncertain times, I pledge that every concern and every issue will receive the attention it merits, and that the pressing needs of the public will be prudently balanced. I will manage our state finances with the same discipline and frugality that is incumbent upon every individual and family. As I assume this responsibility as your governor, I will be guided by several core principles and beliefs that have always been inherent in my public service. First, like all of you, I express my gratitude for the freedom that we all enjoy as Americans. It was freedom's divine spark that ultimately flickered into that bright blaze that we now know as the American Revolution. It was that revolution that continues to inspire others across the globe to seek liberty even today. Many have paid the price for freedom, both past and present. We will never take for granted their sacrifices. Our hosts today are members of the Utah National Guard led by General Brian Herbert. We honor and salute these noble citizen soldiers. I am proud that I was once numbered amongst their ranks. As a state, we do not forget that we are a nation still at war. And as a people, we will not forget the sacrifices made in distant lands that make it possible for us to enjoy freedom and live in peace here at home today. Second, let me also affirm that I believe in the appropriate but limited role for government. I believe that what government we have ought to be well run and efficient. As stated by former President Ronald Reagan in his farewell address, quote, "There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts." End of quote.